Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back. Another episode, another rider. Today we have the lovely girl all the way from the USA. I forgot where she told me she's from. South Carolina. For those who don't know, that's the Dave Chappelle area. So that's very interesting. And on the positive note, there are some negative notes, but we will bypass that. She's come here all alone to the Big Smoke. To study international studies. She wants to be in the UN, and she's also a cheerleader. So she's used to being thrown up in the air. I don't know if she's single, guys, so don't ask me. But I'm sure she'll let you know who she is. But anyway, nice to have you.
Hi. Thank you. I am single, so get that out of the way.
Okay, that's good. So tell us, how did you... Right, let's start with who you are. Obviously you come here to study in international studies. What made you want to do the UN? Like, do the law, come here to study?
I've always been interested in politics, government, law, things like that. And I actually started with working, like being a volunteer in UNICEF, which is a UN agency for helping children. Mm-hmm. And I just found that was something that I really liked. And that's how I got into like international law, because I wanted to look like broader from like US government or even like UK government into like actual like world problems.
Okay, that's good. So you're in your first year, your second year?
This is my second year.
And how did you find London when you first came here? Was it your first time, like you just rocked up, or had you been here before?
I had visited a couple times before, but it was definitely a lot different coming here actually to live on my own. So I was really worried, but actually I adjusted very quickly. I love London. It's a lot of fun. It was definitely difficult, like adjusting to like a big city environment, but I actually really enjoy it.
Okay. What's the negatives and positives?
Negatives, it's just, I'd say the negatives and positives are somewhat similar. Positives are, that it's so busy, so it's like full of opportunities, things to do, stuff like that. And then the negatives would also be that it's so busy, all the time. Traffic, loud noises, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Were you homesick at first?
Of course, sometimes. Maybe not as much homesick as just missing my parents,
When you had a quiet moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're over that now.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, obviously, I'll be like, oh, I miss my parents, but other than that, yeah.
When you graduate, do you see yourself staying here longer, or?
Hopefully, yes. Looking for jobs, opportunities, internships, things like that. Obviously, I'm looking in London. I'll also look like a little bit outside, maybe like a couple places in the US, but my main goal is to stay in London, yes.
Okay, I hear you. Well, the UN has a big division in Kenya.
Yes.
So you can do that. That'll be quite interesting.
That's true.
Travel experience and all of that. I don't know how long for. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the cheerleading. How long were you a cheerleader? What was your position? I don't know anything about cheerleading.
I was a cheerleader for 6 years.
That's quite
and so, yeah, in terms of position, well, first I was the captain of the cheerleading team for 3 years. So,
so you like that girl in the movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
before we get into that, then, you're the star girl. So you're probably dating the jock? Is that what you call it?
No, I never dated the jock, but everything else is pretty stereotypical.
Okay then. So are your friends jealous that you've come here? Are they happy for you? What's the deal? Because it's a big move.
Mm-hmm.
You've you've gone away, how does your people back home feel?
It was kind of shocking considering most people, at least where I went to school with, barely left the state to go to university. So the fact that I came all the way to London, people were a little bit confused. Yeah, I do get a lot of people that are a little bit jealous, mostly because of the drinking age. It's 21 in the US, so a lot of my friends still can't. I get a lot of, kind of comments about that, which is funny.
Is it the Bible Belt where you are?
Yes, very much so.
Oh,
very much so.
Judgmental comments.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But, I'm having fun. It's fine.
You brought any of your friends over to visit you?
I really planned on it, but COVID, it's only my second year. So by the time it was, my friends at home's like spring break, COVID had already hit. Couldn't, but did have plans for it. Hopefully next year. Hopefully soon.
Statistically, 70% of Americans don't hold passports. So had you traveled other places before?
I had. My dad is an international photographer. Oh. So a lot of times I would travel with him. So I had already been traveling a lot of my life, which probably helped.
Animals, people?
Animals, yes.
Okay, so he used to go Africa then?
Yeah, a lot. He goes to Africa a lot.
Okay, and you've been Africa?
I haven't. I've always wanted to go, but I know I really want to go with my dad to, I think Namibia once. Okay. And he, at that same time that we were supposed to go, there was some sort of terrorist kind of thing going on. I can't remember what happened. There was a shooting or a bombing in an airport, and so my dad was like, yeah, you better not, because I was supposed to fly there and meet him, so fly there and be there by myself.
Oh,
so my dad was like, no, yeah.
Okay.
So he was like, yeah, you better not.
You got many brothers and sisters?
No, I'm the only one.
Oh, so he's not. He's all his eggs in one basket. He said, no,
yeah.
You stay at home.
And then I moved countries, so,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So back to the cheerleading then.
Cheerleading.
So you're number one girl, you're the captain.
Yeah.
How many people on the team? Is it a team?
It is a team. To be in competition, it had to be over 30, so we used to have...
30 people?
We used to have roughly... Well,
really?
we would divide it a lot of times, but to do competition...
You have to be over 30?
Yeah, so we usually have 40, but then we would split it into JV and varsity. So the better players and the younger, less experienced players.
What's the average age? So you're all 16? Or is that...
Around, high school age, so that would be, maybe... 14 to 18 usually.
Okay.
So
that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
And you all sing, go, 1, 2. You got the pom-poms.
Yeah, the pom-poms, yeah.
You throw in the air.
Oh, the pom-poms are annoying.
Why?
That's one thing I don't miss. I don't know, they just kind of get annoying to hold for long periods of time.
Give us a Y, give us a yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're a party girl as well then?
A little bit. A little bit. Sorry, Mom.
Okay. Sorry, Mom. So apologise to the demands. Was your mum a cheerleader?
No, but she was a professional ballerina, so I grew up with the dance.
Does Mummy happy with the cheerleading, or is she you've got to step down, you should be balancing on your toenail?
No, she was fine with cheerleading. She wanted me to get into ballet when I was young, and then I didn't really enjoy it. So once I got into cheerleading, she was like, it's some sort of dance, so I'm here for it.
Okay, that's good. Is your mum Russian or?
No, she's not. I don't know why she got into ballet. She's not.
Okay.
She's typical American. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So there's 30 people on the team.
Yes.
And what are the positions? Give us some idea of the positions. Remember, you're talking to someone who hasn't got a clue about this.
Well, when you're doing stunts, which is throwing people in the air, you need 2 people on the side. Those are the bases. Those are the main people lifting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They grab the feet and they lift up. You have a back spot, which is when I wasn't being lifted, what I did. And then you have the flyer, which is the person in the air. And so a lot of times I was the flyer, and a lot of times it was the back spot. The back spot kind of just stands behind and like holds and makes sure that like everything is going well, everything is balanced, kind of oversees the whole thing.
So that's why you're the captain, because the backstop kind of knows how things should be.
Yeah, it does help. It does help.
It's got to be a highly experienced person.
It does help, yeah. But also I just didn't have enough like upper body strength to be a base, so that's also why.
Is there many accidents?
Oh yeah. Oh, all the time. Oh, all the time.
What kind of fractured, broken bones?
I've never really seen anybody break a bone. Had a couple like minor concussions I've seen. Seen like you know, just minor like sprained ankles, you know, stuff like that. Never luckily seen anything like broken. Every once in a while, you'll see people who just, you know, maybe just got like their belly button pierced or got a new piercing. And we you know, yeah, well, we tell them you have to, you know, take it out, and they don't want to, and then you don't know, and then all of a sudden it gets pulled out and there's blood everywhere. Seen that way too many times.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you say to that person?
It's just kind of like you feel bad for them, but it's really? Like, well, obviously.
They're spurting their blood over everybody, and you've told them, you've warned them, and you feel bad. Listen.
Well, it is something that looks painful, you know.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, but that's the whole point.
Yeah, yeah.
Your blood on me. I'm gonna let you know about it.
I mean, like my first time cheerleading, like first year of cheerleading, that was like one of the first like accidents I saw was somebody's like belly button piercing just got like ripped out in the middle of a competition. And that's,
whoa.
Yeah,
so
I was like, oh
shit.
shit.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So they should have took that out for the competition.
Yeah, yeah, but.
You have a lot more empathy than me. And understand. You know, I'm not very empathetic.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand.
So people get knocked out. People.
Oh yeah.
Break limbs. So
is
this? So when you competed, that's why you have 30 people, because you need,
exactly.
It's like a reserve of probably 20 people.
Exactly.
How many people on the deck at any one time?
Well, the thing is, it's different when you have like competitions where you're doing stunts and stuff like that, like high kind of profile type things. Then that's when you need at least 30 people. But when you're just doing like maybe at sporting events, just like cheering, doing stuff like that, you really only need like 10 to 15 people max, like minimum. You really don't need 10 to 15 maximum. I was right. So you really don't need that many.
Now tell me, cheerleading's been around for a long time. Do you know the history of it?
Not really, actually.
Do you think it's going to continue to be around? Do you see the future of cheerleading?
I think it will. I think it will. It's usually, I think competition cheer especially is becoming more popular. There are big competitions, especially like in Florida and California, things like that. Those are huge. Those are only growing. And in terms of like high school sport kind of cheerleading, really hard to tell if that's going to stand up. But I think as long as it becomes more inclusive, I know a lot of high schools, they say like, oh, we don't want, you know, any boys, or we don't want people that look like, you know, there's always kind of the cliquey, there's always a cliquey kind of thing. But I think as long as high school cheerleading becomes more inclusive, then yeah, I think it'll stick around.
But do many boys want to be in there?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
I saw some show with some boys, but they were just throwing girls in the air.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have people like that, but then also you have, you know, boys that want to be like in the dance, you know, being like that. And a lot of people aren't open to that, so hopefully that will change.
You know why? Because the girls are there to entertain the guys.
Yeah.
And no one wants to see some guy go try and wiggle his ass or something. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're one of those kind of people who find that exciting. But you're a minority.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in the business.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also, I feel like, you know, shouldn't really stop people if they, at least from trying out, you know? At least if you want to go to tryouts, you know, I feel like that should be given to anybody that wants to.
I suppose if you're the person who owns the team, you may look a bit different, but I understand your point.
Yeah.
Because if you own the team, you've invested a lot of money. But anyway, we've come to the end now.
Yes, we have. Thank you so much.
Very nice chat. My last question to you is, what's the impact you want to have on the world?
The impact. I don't know if I can narrow that down to one thing. I just want to kind of go wherever I can, help as many people as I can. And I'm not sure what kind of impact that would make, but I just want to, travel and do good and do the best that I can at
It's going to be
helping
a positive
people.
impact either way.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, obviously, I hope so.
What you're saying. So.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, then.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.